Hello, dear students. I hope that you're doing great. Welcome to this video. Today's lesson is about a new group of vertebrates. Last time we talked about reptiles. So first, animals are classified into two big groups. You're right. Vertebrates are those with a backbone, while invertebrates are animals with no backbone. The backbone is also called a vertebral column or a spine. Vertebrates are classified into 5 different groups. What are those groups? Yes, fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Let's talk a little bit about fish. Fish are animals that live underwater. These animals use their tail fin and their fins to swim in water, yes, and their bodies are covered with detached or disconnected scales. Those animals are oviparous animals. They lay eggs in water and they do not have a fixed body temperature, so they are cold-blooded. How do fish breathe underwater? Using their gills. When they breathe, water enters the body of the fish through the mouth and it leaves it through the gills opening. The job of the gills is to absorb oxygen from water before it leaves the body of the fish. Second, the amphibians. What are the amphibians you know? Axolotls, frogs, salamanders, newts, and caecilians. What do you know about those animals? They have a moist, smooth, slimy, shiny skin. They use their lungs and their moist skin to breathe since they have small lungs. These animals lay eggs in water like fish do, and they are cold-blooded. Fish are also cold-blooded. So, amphibians and fish do not have a fixed body temperature. Amphibians are animals that go through metamorphosis. So baby amphibians, the larvae, are different from the adult amphibians. Baby amphibians use their gills to breathe and their fins to swim underwater, while adult amphibians use their legs and their lungs and skin to breathe. And they use their legs to move for sure. Caecilians, which look like big worms, do not have legs to move. What's the third group of vertebrates? The reptiles group. Reptiles are classified into how many groups? 5 groups, yes. We have the alligators, the snakes, turtles, tortoises, and lizards. Those animals are covered with dry, connected scales. They use their lungs to breathe. They are oviparous animals that lay eggs on land, and these animals are cold-blooded. Let's compare a caecilian to a chameleon. So we are comparing an amphibian. Caecilians are amphibians. We're comparing an amphibian to a reptile. Chameleons belong to the lizards group, and lizards are reptiles. Both animals are vertebrates, yes. So they both have a vertebral column. They both lay eggs. They reproduce by laying eggs. Both do not have a fixed body temperature. Their temperature depends on the surrounding. And they both have lungs to breathe. What about the differences? How is a caecilian different from a chameleon? Caecilians have smooth, shiny, slimy skin, while chameleons have connected scales. So this is how we compare. We need to use while. So again, caecilians have a slimy, shiny, moist, smooth skin, while chameleons have dry, connected scales. Second difference, Sicilians are amphibians, so they go through metamorphosis, the change that turns them into adults. So Sicilians go through metamorphosis while chameleons do not go through metamorphosis. The third difference, Sicilians, which are the amphibians, lay their eggs in water and their babies start their lives in water, while chameleons, which are reptiles, lay their eggs on land. Another difference is that Sicilians use their lungs and smooth skin to breathe, while chameleons use their lungs to breathe only, okay? Their lungs only to breathe. Sicilians do not have legs to move, while chameleons use their legs to move. Today, we're going to talk about the fourth group of vertebrates, which is the birds group. The peacock is a bird. Eagles, vultures, pigeons, lovebirds, chickens are birds. Did you ever see a bird with a mouth? No, for sure. Birds do not have a mouth, but they have a beak, or called also a bill, okay? And they use this beak or this bill to eat. What covers the body of birds? Do they have scales, disconnected scales like fish, a moist skin like amphibians, or connected scales like reptiles? None, you're sure? That's sure. So birds have feathers. They are covered with feathers. Those animals have lungs for sure. They live on land, so they need lungs to breathe. Another thing is that you know that birds travel and they go for long trips sometimes, long travels, so they need air sacs to store air in them so they can use it while flying. Okay, so they have lungs and those lungs are connected to air sacs and they use them to breathe. Birds are oviparous. Where do birds lay their eggs? In water. No, they lay them on land. I want you to look carefully at those different birds' beak. Look at their beaks. Do they have same shape, same size, same colors, same form of beaks? Do they have the same bill? Do they have the same beak? No, their beaks are different. Look at this carnivorous strong animal or strong bird. It needs a strong beak to catch the small animal it needs to eat or it feeds on, like a mouse, for example. So it has a beak well adapted to catch small animals. This is another bird. This is a bird that feeds on fish. So it needs a beak that helps it to take fish out of water. What about the hummingbird? This bird needs a tall beak, like a straw, to suck nectar from flowers. And also look at this beak, eating the fruit. This bird is feeding on the fruit, so it needs a beak that helps it to eat fruits. So the shape, the size, and the strength of a beak depends on the kind of food that the bird feeds on. Okay, so again, birds have different beaks because they eat different things. Okay, what is this again? This is the beak or the bill of this beautiful bird. And this bird has legs with claws. It has how many wings? It has two wings and its body is covered with feathers. Do you think birds are warm-blooded animals or cold-blooded animals? Yes, their feathers keep them warm. So they are warm-blooded animals with a fixed body temperature like us. Birds and mammals are warm-blooded animals. They have a fixed body temperature that doesn't get affected by the outside. So when it's too cold, when it's too hot, they should maintain a fixed body temperature. How do birds fly? Using their wings? Yes, for sure. And they also use their feathers. Something else is that birds have strong muscles in their chest. This what helps them to fly. And their bones are not heavy. They have lightweight bones. So these four things help a bird fly. Again, birds have wings. They have feathers. They have strong chest muscles and lightweight bones. And those four adaptations help birds fly. Eagles, flamingos, lovebirds, I can't remember other examples. Okay, so those birds fly, and to fly, they are some adaptations that help them fly. Wings, feathers, strong chest muscles, and lightweight bones. But do all birds fly? Think of the penguin, for example. Okay, the penguin has feathers, it is a bird, it has a beak, okay, but it does not fly. The kiwi bird, this cute bird, it has a beak, two legs, it has two wings, but it does not fly. The dodo bird, which doesn't exist anymore on Earth, has two legs, two wings, a beak. It is a bird, but it is a flightless one. Cassowaries, ostriches are birds with beaks, wings, and two legs, but those animals do not fly. Ostriches, for examples, are great runners. They run too fast, but they are unable to fly. So you need to know that all birds have wings, but there are some examples of birds that do not fly at all. What do we know now about birds? Let's recap. Birds are or have feathers. They have a beak or a bill to eat. They breathe using their lungs and air sacs. They are oviparous animals that lay eggs on land, and they are warm-blooded. Okay, let's start from here. Help me to say whether those statements are true or false. Let's start with this. Birds are cold-blooded. What do you think? Yes, this is wrong. Birds have feathers. Yes, you're right. They do have feathers. Do birds live in water? No. Do birds use their lungs to breathe? Yes. Birds hatch from eggs? Yes. They are oviparous animals that lay eggs on land. Let's compare and contrast a bird to a fish. Both animals are vertebrates, yes, and they are oviparous animals, but they are different in some way. Birds have feathers, while fish have disconnected or detached scales. Birds breathe using their lungs, while fish use their gills to breathe. Birds are warm-blooded animals, while fish are cold-blooded animals. And that's it for today. So you know now that birds have a beak or a bill to eat. Their beaks are different because they eat different things. Those animals have two wings and they have two legs. There are four different things that help birds fly, which are the wings, feathers, lightweight bones, and strong chest muscles. But there are some examples of birds that cannot fly, although they have wings, like ostriches, cassowaries, dodo birds, elephant birds, kiwi birds, emu are all examples all of flightless birds. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching.